workload for the humanitarian sector has significantly increased because the need has sharply risen around the world. And in such pandemic, medical workers, health workers are working around the clock across the world. The situation has heavily impacted the humanitarian sector in terms of delivery. Another issue is that the pandemic has increased the humanitarian needs in some parts of the world. So already the need is high, and this pandemic came, so it led to a much bigger burden. We're talking that we're going to witness greater poverty. We're going to witness maybe even greater inequality. It will also exhaust the existing social protection system to a breaking point. We're also worried that in spite of the increasing global humanitarian needs, there will be less funds available to meet those growing needs. Most of the funds are directed towards the pandemic, towards COVID-19 and the health issues. So the humanitarian sector will actually, the funds will actually shrink. Humanitarian actors will have to be more involved into their home countries, as we are doing at Dubai Cares. We're looking into the UAE and how we can help our country, and many others will have the same issue. Humanitarian actors will have increasing difficulty accessing vulnerable communities. A lot of roads will be blocked, communities will be blocked, zones will be blocked. So humanitarian actors won't be able to go to these communities to serve. And I told them and I urged them that there has to be a UN-led initiative, a global coalition that is led by the UN that should be solving this issue globally, that should be preparing for future generations and many years to come, or even in the short run, if there's any similar global mass disruption, let's call it, not only a pandemic, that we have to be prepared as humankind for these, so our education system does not get interrupted or even disrupted. We should have the infrastructure ready, meaning exactly what we're doing now. We're zooming in and we're talking online on a panel. Same thing should happen. The issue is a lot of schools today, Waleed, globally are not having a proper education system, even if it's in a virtual meeting. So if there's no global coalition, this would not work. And that was my suggestion. And 2.5 weeks later or 3 weeks later, UNESCO has announced a global coalition on the future of education for COVID-19 response. And we have been selected to be the first non-government organization and the first philanthropic organization there. And we are on full throttle going towards this. And I would just like to take this opportunity, Waleed, to mention that the ministry has provided budgets for 50,000 laptops, and what remains goes through the Education Uninterrupted campaign. I would like to mention that we have raised funds about for half of what's missing. So we only have half. We only have around 13 million, 14 million dirhams to raise, so we can cover all the children who come from low-income families on the criteria that the Ministry of Education has set. And hopefully we will be the first country in the world to announce that we have covered all children who come from low-income families based on the ministry's criteria. We're going to showcase to the whole world how the future of education can be through distance learning. We're going to show you, we're going to let you go into a new platform, a new universe, other than what we're doing here in a Zoom or in a virtual meeting. We're going to take you into a virtual reality, into a mixed reality. Not only the virtual goggles and the VR goggles that you wear. No, this will be a totally different reality that will not keep you dizzy, that you don't have to wear a backpack for cooling the heating, it will be something totally different. And we're going to have 3 subjects. One of them is science, and you will be living the subject inside in a 360 virtual and mixed reality model, which is very immersive. That's the future of education. Why can't a child in the middle of a rural area in Africa, which we can give, we can beam connectivity through broadcast, satellite. We're not talking broadband and internet. Satellite is easy to connect. And we have also Yasat in Abu Dhabi who works on this a lot, and they give pro bono services, and they are considered to be part of this project that we're working on. Why can't we beam that from the capital, where we can have teachers and instructors giving the lesson in a city, and then beaming it to students or training teachers in another city? We have used these models, Waleed. We've done it 8 years ago, and this example we have done it in Ghana, and we covered more than 45 hub schools, which each one has 7 schools as satellite schools. Do the math, 7 into 45. These are the number of schools and teachers and students that we have covered.